Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. So in this video I'm going to be showing you how I make my basic sleeve pattern. So this sleeve pattern is pretty easy, especially when you know the secret behind it. So let's go over to making it. So the first thing to take note of while making your sleeve pattern is 1/4 of the bust circumference and also the round sleeve of the person wearing the clothes. And although measuring the round sleeve is important, you're not going to be making your sleeves independently of your round sleeve measurements because sometimes it doesn't tally. Either it's too tight or loose, or it can't go around your armpit. So with this strategy I'm going to be showing you in a few minutes now, you'll be able to make sleeves that can perfectly fit into the armpit you've carved on your basic bodice. This part of the sleeve is called the cap height, and it can be changed and altered to suit the size or the measurement of the dress you're making to make a fitting sleeve for the armpit of the bodice you are using for your sewing. So I'm going to be showing you a table in a few seconds that can help you in marking your sleeve pattern. So in this table I'm showing you here, it contains the quarter of the bust circumference and the possible cap height to use and the cap width to use. So in this table it usually helps me to have a very fast move when I want to mark my sleeves. I only get the bust circumference, that's the quarter, 1/4 of the bust circumference, and from this table each bust circumference I see, I've also noted the cap height I'm using and what the cap width will possibly be. So I'm going to demonstrate with some patterns I made here and with the sleeves I made with it on how well this pattern and this table works for me. So now I have a bodice of 9.5 over 1/4 of the bust circumference, and I have the sleeve marked based on the table I'm using. So I'm going to be truing this pattern to determine if it really fits. So I'm pretending I'm sewing like 1/2 inch away from the sleeve tip and that of the armpit. So I'm trying to roll the pattern of the sleeve, assuming I'm sewing it onto the pattern. So I'm moving it up to true my pattern to see if it really fits in. So this is it. As you guys can see, it's really going on well and it's fitting quite well into the armpit. So this means that this sleeve really fits this pattern so well. So guys, if you've not watched my previous video on how I make my basic bodice, try and do so. And also, if you have noticed, you can see I don't usually slash this slant part of the shoulder off. I'd rather leave it and sew it 3/4 at the end of the shoulder and 1/2 inch from the neck down to the tip of the shoulder, so that when I put in my pattern, I'm sure my sleeves will fit well. So I'll be showing you another demo on another pattern I made for a different measurement using the standards on the table I showed you earlier on. So this bodice was actually made someone with a quarter bust circumference of 11 inches. So according to the table, this sleeve width will fall at 8.5 inches when you're making it at a cap height of 5 inches. So let's go ahead and true this pattern. Also on the sleeves you can see it's 8.5. I'm going to true this pattern out to see if it fits well. So let's get going. We do this by placing the allowances together, seam allowances together, and from the point of sewing to the point of sewing, assuming this is the material. So you're sewing by at least 1/2 inch down. So from there we trace from the meeting point up to the shoulder. So guys, this is quite an easy way to make your sleeve work. I've been using this table for a very long time and it has been helping me to easily mark my sleeves without sweating. Good. Now you see it fits perfectly. So I'm going to go ahead and show you how to make one of these using another measurement. So now we're here. I'm going to show you how I make these sleeves so that you can use it to make yours too. So this is the bodice for the quarter circumference of the bust of 11.5 inches, and we're going to go according to the table once more. So here 11.5 with the cap height of 5, we have like 5 inches cap width. So let's go ahead and make the sleeve. So I'm going to place my tape measure at the top of this paper, and I'm measuring the cap height of 5 inches. So I'll be marking this 5 inches towards the outer part of the pattern. Then you can mark your line, straight line from there. So on this you're going to be marking your cap width. By cap width, I mean according to the table we have there, because when you measure yourself or measure someone wearing the clothes, you find out that with ease measurements it usually corresponds. So you make a straight line down, assuming this is the style of your sleeve. So from there, from that point on to the tip of your pattern, we're going to be marking a straight line from there. Actually, this is a diagonal line. So from there, you place your tape measure and mark half of what you have here, and then you further mark half of what you have here, and also at the top here you mark half of what you have. So you can then make a line up. These lines will help you mark the curve of your sleeve. So on the toppest part of it, you place your tape measure by centimeter and measure like 2 cm there, 2 cm at the middle stroke, and then 1 cm at the last one. This is just a guideline to help you mark your sleeve S curve. So now, as you can see, I'm tracing my sleeve by joining the lines I made earlier on. So this is how I curve out my sleeve mouth. So I'm going to be cutting this out now. So after cutting this out, we're going to be treating it with the pattern we have there already. We're making the sleeve for to see if it fits well. So guys, if you've not subscribed to my channel yet, don't mind pausing the video and clicking the subscribe button. Then you get back to continue. Make sure you like my videos as well and share with your friends. So after making the sleeve, you find out that sleeve making can be practically very easy, and it's not going to be as frustrating as before. So now we're going to be truing this pattern. So as we did the first one I demonstrated, we're going to go ahead and place these seam allowances together and assume we are sewing by ½ inch below. So we're going to be truing this by assuming that we're sewing it together. So anywhere the sleeve meets so well, you dot and rotate, as I'm doing in the video here. So make sure you follow suit as well. So as you can see, we're trying to true the pattern, and there you go, on point. Okay, so now you have a fair sleeve to match the bodice you're working with. Next, I'm going to be showing you how to modify this sleeve marking technique to fit someone that has a larger arm circumference than what we have on the table. So when you have someone with bigger arms than what is on the table, you have to modify the sleeve cap height in order to fit into this exact same measurement of the bodice. So I'm going to be showing you that on my next demonstration, so stay tuned. So guys, now I'm going to show you how to do that modification. So we'll quickly make another sleeve with a different cap height and a different cap width to fit into the same bodice of 11.5 inches. So there you go. So instead of 5 inches, we usually mark according to the bodice. We're going to be marking 4 inches cap height instead. So we're marking 4 inches instead of 5 according to the table. And then we're going to be using our ruler to make a straight line. Then from here, assuming the sleeve you're making, the round sleeve is 9.5 and what you have on the table is 9. We're going to be imputing 9.5 now that we've reduced the cap height to 4. So we have 9.5 here, and we're adding our 1 inch as a seam allowance. So guys, this means that each 1 inch you're taking out from the cap height gives you an opportunity to add half inch at the cap width. So we're making a straight line from there. So also we're going to be marking half of whatever you have at this line. Make sure that everything tallies so that your sleeve will fit in perfectly. So I'm just going over it again, 9.5 inches, and there I'm going to be marking half of whatever I have here. So there you go. And then also I'm going to be marking half, finding the quarter of these lines by marking half of what I've marked before. So there you go. Making these sleeves can be quite very interesting. You can experiment until you get what you want and how easy it will become for you. So I'm going to still mark 2 cm here at the top and 2 cm also at the middle stroke, then 1 cm at the last stroke. So from there it's going to be helping me to mark my sleeve S curve. So watch as I curve my sleeve and do yours as so too. So I'm going to be cutting this out. Making sleeves can be quite stressful when you don't know all these tips, but now you know it at fingertips. You can go ahead and rejoice and enjoy it while you make it. Yes, so now you have a perfect bodice and a perfect sleeves. What can be so worthwhile as that? So now we're going to be trimming this pattern to see if it matches with our bodice. So like we tested the other ones, so we're going to test this too. So I'm going to be trimming this pattern, assuming I'm sewing half inch along from the armpit to the top part of the sleeve. So I'm rolling it up, assuming I'm sewing it onto the bodice by half inch or so. Okay, so now we have another first sleeve for our pattern. You see, so this is quite fair for this pattern. So now you see how to modify your sleeve patterns to make for a larger armhole. So now I'm going to show you how to make another sleeve pattern. This method is for a large size dress or a kimono. This one, the difference is that the armhole is about 9 inches long, but others were quite shorter, like 8.5 inches. Now this is a pattern of 9 inches quarter of bust circumference, of which according to the table, the cap height of 5 and the 7 inches for the sleeve width. But if I make it according to this table, the sleeve will not fit perfectly because the length of the armholes has changed. So I'm going to be showing you how I modify these numbers to get a sleeve that perfectly fits into this pattern. So as we did before, we're going to be marking out a sleeve cap of 4 inches. Okay, now with your ruler you make a straight line along the dots you just made. So from here, instead of the 7 inches according to the table we are having here, we are going to be adding some few numbers to it to make sure that it balances well. So we're going to be adding 1.5 inches to it, which is 8.5. So we are marking down the seam allowances. So from there we make a straight line. So like we did for other sleeves, we're going to be repeating the same method by marking half of whatever you have there, and then you find quarter of the line, which is half of each of these half we just marked here. So I'm going to find half of this and the half of the one on top. Then we're going to be marking the strokes out. Then place our centimeter tape and measure 2 cm, 2 cm and 1 cm. Then we use this guide to curve out the S curve of our sleeve pattern. So now we're going to be cutting the sleeves out. I like using freehand to curve my sleeves because it feels faster for me, but you can also use your curve rulers to make this, but this is for beginners to also follow, and people that doesn't have all these equipment, they'll feel free to follow up with the tutorial. So this is it. Now we're going to be testing if this pattern truly fits into our bodice we're making it for. So like we test the other sleeves, we're going to be treating this pattern as well. So we're assuming we're sewing like ½ inch below the armpit, and from there we'll keep on rolling in our sleeves into the armpit to ensure that it fits in. So as you roll, you make sure you're not shifting your pattern so that you'll be sure the pattern fits well. So as you can see, we already have a fair pattern for our bodies, and this is a very good one. So guys, remember that this particular pattern we just made a sleeve for is a free size dress pattern. So it incorporates a larger armhole or armpit. So guys, thank you very much for watching this video. Make sure you like and subscribe to my channel.